highlighted, and I'm going to just call it Raheem because it was his group that did the research study on this, but they surveyed a bunch of bud tenders, and what I think we're seeing is that since legalization, patients are walking into their doctor's office and say, hey, I heard about using CBD or THC for sleep, what do you think? Since 2018, I think a lot of doctors have just said, hey, you know what? Yeah, that's maybe something you might want to consider, but they're not writing a medical document for it, right? What they're doing is saying, go ahead, go get it. But they're not realizing that there's not, these products don't exist in a pharmacy channel, right, where you can get medical guidance. So a lot of these patients are actually ending up in rec retail stores where the bud tenders are not allowed to provide them with any guidance. And so it's a lose-lose, right, for these self-medicating patients because, sure, the physician is supportive, but the physician doesn't have the training or even there's a knowledge gap there to understand that they actually need to refer out to a proper clinic that does this, and supports hundreds of patients, or they need to learn how to dose, how to, titrate, how to follow those patients, and that training right now, that gap is what exists. I am confident it will change. It has to. It's one of those things where it just takes a bit of time, but I do think that we're going to see more and more of this because at least the physicians that I have relationships with and that I've been following, you're seeing more and more of them, right? And it does just take that champion or that advocate to really get into the faculty to learn. And we also, one of the things we need in Canada is probably a stronger clinician group. Yeah, like in the States and in international, there's a society of cannabis clinicians. I think that's one thing that doesn't really exist as a strong group here in Canada. So I do think that it will take some of the clinicians to come together to form some sort of coalition so that they can then have similar sort of advocacy and lobbying conversations with the heads of the medical schools and the pharmacy schools.